Yeah, let's go.
You want to see it?
No, me? No.
Oh, she should start the intro.
Yeah, when you start the intro.
Because I sound sick.
No worries, it's not normal.
Let's try it.
How many of you are looking for that light abdominal exercise that won't hurt your back?
Stay tuned, and we'll get right back to you. Alright, I'm Dr. Lin of Rehab Physical Therapy. We have Stephanie who gave us a nice little intro, and she's going to start demonstrating the self-facilitated bracing, or some people call it the one leg push, or some people call it, the abdominal, the single legged flexion, I don't know, isometric, something like that. So, tons of names, but we'll use what we use over at the Institute of Physical Art and Functional Manual Therapy, so giving my mentor some credit there. So what we want to do is we want to get the core muscles kicked in, and really what we want to think about is engaging here. The core is like a cylinder, so we got the top, which is like your diaphragm. We have some diaphragm exercise. The bottom, your pelvic floor, and around is your abdominal wall. We take that from Dr. Mary Masry out of Northwestern. But so we want to be able to engage that feed forward mechanism, is what we call it in our world. So we start here. Make sure you're in not very much pain, but if you have some, be careful. We like this hook lying position with your knees bent. So why don't we start here first? So what we want to see is, can this person, can Stephanie be able to hold this nice and solid? And she can. I'm about 200 pounds and it's actually very tough. And how much effort do you think you're trying? Not much, right? So that's a good core response. Let's switch sides. Let's see if this side has a little bit. And she might be practicing her exercises at home. So hold. That's also pretty good. So hold here, and I'll show the world that. That's really tough. So that's great. She's showing everyone that she's been doing her exercises. However, in some cases, let's kind of just quickly show people, let's use this leg, that, this is what it kind of looks like. If I push, it's just kind of the hip and no core action. So sometimes I want the patient to hold their stomach here, monitor, make sure they got that, and when I pull, it's there. So we can start with one leg, or one leg and one arm. And so right there, those fingertips are like raised, and we're gonna go ahead and push up towards the ceiling. And just like one of my mentors, Vicki Johnson, says, she calls it slow and low. But I also like kind of the image of, enough pressure to bend a fly's knees. I forgot where I heard that from, but it must be one of my colleagues. So enough pressure to bend a fly's knees. So I'm gonna have her do that, and you're gonna build, and you're gonna shake. Now what I've decided to add is actually to take her eyeballs and go ahead and either intentionally look towards your navel, your belly button, or you can lift. If you have strong enough neck, you can lift, and that creates a kind of a cyclical or circle-like motion. And she's shaking a little bit now, right? And that's great. You should feel it start here and get dense. So if you start feeling it here, you're probably pushing too hard, or you're pushing it in this vector. You want to push it in a traction vector. So hold it right here, and you're gonna hold. And so if she's getting really good, which I expect, these are really strong, and I can't even move her. So I can't even move her. So really strong, right? And she's like, "You're not even trying, Dr. Lin. This is too easy, right?" So this eventually builds into both legs. We call it the ab series from my mentor, Greg Johnson. And so the most important thing to think about is actually take that tailbone and lift it up towards the ceiling, and you create the same kind of blocking mechanism. And she's doing great. Hold right there. That's great. So there's a little progression. So now hold this right here. And if you do it good enough, believe it or not, you become, I think, like a little rocking boat, dense but light is what I always call it. So hold right here, get that stuff. Good, and keep going that, no, come push me. Yep, and she's got that, and her core is actually the one, and she's kind of light like that. So that's the self-facilitated bracing. We build it into the abdominal series. And so this is a great exercise. If it starts hurting your back, you're probably doing two things wrong. You're probably, one, pushing towards your leg a little bit more and not pushing up towards the ceiling, and or you're not aligning your body correctly, or pushing too hard. So remember, it's nice and slow and nice and not very little effort, just enough pressure to bend the fly's knees. And you know flies don't have knees, so it's lighter than you think. So if you think you're pushing light, drop it by another 50%. So this is one of our favorite exercises. We love to give it to our patients with lower back pain and or, you know, even hip dysfunction, knee dysfunction. Everyone actually should be doing this. So I'm Dr. Lin, this is Stephanie. I'm glad we had her as a volunteer today. If you like what we're doing, please subscribe. Check out our other videos as well. Leave a comment. And also, you could also leave us some feedback or give us some suggestions for other future videos at Rehab and revivemedia@gmail.com. Remember, we can and we will get better together. Bye.